All right, I'd like to call to order the community meeting of the Highland Meadows Homeowners Association. The time now is 6:47. Roll call. To my right is Alice Williams, myself, Bobby Williams. To my left is Brenda Wentz, Ralph Martinez, James Wentz, and John Degatano. Absent today is Dennis Foreman, Jason Meadows, and Headley Off.
Oh, there he is.
Nope, he's here.
And
He usually never misses a meeting.
I know.
He was probably stuck in traffic.
Yeah. Unless the traffic was a horse and buggy.
Yeah.
We'll pause and let him.
Bicycle built for two.
-1.
I rode side with them.
Just let her do it.
I think we paused, we had started the meeting, but then we saw you out there.
Okay. Hey, hey. Sit over here. Well.
Right, so we got as far as roll call. And I'd like the records to show that Headley Oliver is here and he is not absent. So there's nothing under the open issues tab, and that's because we don't have the people here that I wanted here. Everybody knows that we want to start some kind of committee for helping people in need in the community. The person that I had in mind to head that up is not here, nor is Dennis. So we're gonna pause that. It's not on the agenda anyway, so we'll wait for the next time. For new business, I have consideration of debt removal for 437 Highland Meadow Street. To bring you guys up to speed, I can pass this around. This is a debt certificate for the owner of 437. I forget her name, it's on there though. She had passed away from cancer in another state. Her daughter currently occupies the house. They're not that familiar with HOAs. They made a few mistakes, got a couple of fines, and then they have not paid their dues this year. So what I'm proposing is that with our non-budgeted funds that we have, I propose that we pay their dues this year and also get rid of any fines that they might have, so they can kind of have a fresh start, so to speak. They probably have a lot of obstacles right now because they don't own the house, but they're occupying the house. So I just think that the right thing to do with us is to remove the fines, pay their dues for this year, and then we'll reassess next year what their situation is.
Okay, I'm sorry, Bobby, but you already spoke with them? You know, they know what,
So I spoke to the daughter a long time ago, and here's the thing is that she's not the homeowner, so
right,
anything that I had said to her or she said to me was off the record and just from one neighbor to another.
right.
So we really can't take any of that into consideration, but she's, they're struggling is probably a good word to put.
Right, yeah. Okay, no, I'm on board what you're saying. I just, for the following year, if they're still there or they're planning to make arrangements for the house, they could know.
I will reach out and let her know if this goes the way that I'm proposing. I'll reach out to her and let her know what happened and what to expect in the upcoming year.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
In the grand scheme of things, it's only, $25.
Yeah, no, I agree.
How much,
They,
debt have been accumulated?
$100, that's all. Yeah.
So,
Motion to remove the debt for 437.
Second.
Pay their, dues for the debt.
Second, yeah.
All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Like I said, I'll reach out to her and let her know that that's what the board is doing and what to expect for, 2023.
Right.
That she's gonna have to pay a $25 fee.
Yeah, as long as she's living in there, yeah.
And then, yeah, as long as she's. Alright, so, tab B, under new business, is the ratification of alteration applications. We do this every year, at every meeting. And I have the stack of alterations that were previously approved with the, Alteration Control Committee. And I'm just looking for a motion to ratify those into our records. And if anybody wants to look at them, they're right there.
I move that we, ratify the alterations that have been voted on prior.
A second.
We have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, the motion carries. Alright, next up we have the treasurer report. I went ahead and prepared a quick report. For those of you that don't know, our treasurer, Hadley Oliver, has resigned his position as treasurer, but will still remain on the board. So as of today, 2/18/22, we have $8,385.36 in the bank. There are currently 26 homeowners who owe the HOA money, 8 of which are fines and fees, and the remaining 18 are the annual assessments plus late fees. So far this year, we paid our liability insurance, our post office box, and our Sunbiz annual reporting. For those of you that don't know, Sunbiz is every year. We have to, because we're considered a business, we have to report who is working for us, or in this case, who is on our board. Because sometimes that changes every year, we have to add and subtract the people on there, and that keeps us legal with the state, and, that keeps us legal with the state. So, and then we're on track for our 2022 budget. Everything looks, pretty good from this point of view. And then we have the ACC report.
Sorry, I'm writing notes. Alright, since your last meeting, that was December 14th, 2021, on average, the amount of violations have varied from as little as 9 to as high as 33 in a week. It's due to holiday decorations being left up past January 15th was the majority of those, along with some of the most common violations, the top 5 being in no special order. Tree maintenance, trees need to be trimmed from overhanging sidewalks and streets while removing the dead branches. 2, dirty fences and dirty trash enclosures. 3, trash and recycle cans not being stored properly out of sight or in their proper enclosure, or the bulk trash and the cans being left on the streets on the days that are other than scheduled pickup days. Number 4, we've had quite a few recently unauthorized alterations being made without submitting the forms for the ACC approval before making the alterations. And then lastly, vehicles blocking the sidewalks. People parking over the sidewalk, on an angle, part on the sidewalk, and that's the top 5 most recent since the last meeting.
All right, does the board have any questions or comments on any of the business that we've discussed so far? How about audience audience members, questions or comments?
The fireworks. I know I had called, the Davenport non-emergency member, and they said it's not their responsibility, they will not come out because the governor approves fireworks on certain days of the year.
Understood, it was not that day though. So that's my,
Yeah,
that's my take on that, because they're approved for what, January 1st?
Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve,
Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and July 4th.
there you go,
4 days.
New Year's Eve as well?
New Year's
Mhm.
Eve, New Year's Day.
and 4th of July.
Yes.
So,
But that also states, if you have it in your governing documents prior to that law going into effect, it resorts back to your HOA.
Right.
And back to
yeah, so we handle it as it comes, so your next door neighbor didn't set them off this year, right?
No, it's person across.
It was from across the street, yeah, so,
In the
next,
street.
the next time your people from across the street aren't gonna set them off either. So we're slowly, getting to everybody here,
Yeah.
until we find a really stubborn person, but, we're gonna petition the police for help on this, and that's another thing that we're working on. Dennis has a really good relationship with the Davenport Police Department, and I don't know if you noticed, but, their presence in our neighborhood has been more and more. And that's a direct result from Dennis's, relationship with them. He's asked them to come and inspect more or drive through more, so, they're doing that, so Dennis is good to have on that side of things. But, so the rule is no fireworks in our neighborhood. The houses are simply too close together. Plus, and the emails and the letters that we send out for every holiday, or every firework holiday that say, there's people that have post-traumatic stress disorder, there's people with pets, there's a lot of things that are triggers, that set off the trigger. The fireworks set off their triggers, and that's unacceptable by all stretches of the imagination. Plus, the danger factor of it, I don't want my house to burn up because somebody's irresponsible. I mean, really, you're giving, I say this hundreds of times a year, you're giving fireworks to unqualified people. You're giving explosives to somebody that doesn't know how to use them, and expecting them to make sound judgment. This doesn't, this isn't Disney, right?
Well, they were doing it around the street. And
Yeah.
I was like, I worry too, like, all it takes is a spark to run down your roof. And then if my house goes up on flames, it's like, oh wow, it's not their problem. It's fine.
It was 2 or 3, I wanna say it was Christmas Eve. It was 2 or 3 years ago on Christmas Eve. My neighbors directly next to me were having a party, and they set off one of those, balloons that have the fire on the bottom, or the rise, I don't even know what you call them, but, a gust of wind came in, and it took it and tilted it, and then the fire caught the balloon on fire, and then it landed on, Gary's roof across the street from me, on fire. So, these are the things, you're giving explosives to amateurs and expecting them to think rationally. It doesn't, in our neighborhood, it shouldn't be accepted at all. We have heavy fines for that, and I stand by I stand by those fines. We tried to make them pay without, we don't wanna forgive anything, we want them to pay their fines, so that they learn that if they're gonna do that, it's gonna cost them a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, people with pets, they don't understand, our cat is so upset, she's like trying to hide under the couch, and then it's like, I can't control the other neighborhoods, of course, but it's like, at least in our own neighborhood,
Yeah.
it's against our documents, it's like.
Our dogs won't even go outside.
That might,
They lean over the mess on the carpet because they're too scared to go out.
Oh, she wouldn't leave our side, she was like cuddled up on the
Yeah.
couch and wouldn't leave our side, and people that have pets understand that, or people who have PTSD or young children, there's a lot of different people that have to work, or, it's just not nice.
Very true.
yeah, and we all work different hours too, let's face it, this is not a 9 to 5 community that we live in.
Sometimes they go on until 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah.
And see, and the people that set these off, that fun and games, but like you're saying, there's we have a lot of police officers retired, we have a lot of veterans that have been wartime, and those things going off up in the air sound exactly like bombshells.
Yeah.
And the firecrackers sound like gunshots.
Mhm.
So that's things that trigger, you know, I'm able to I have it, but I'm able to handle it and deal with it. But that's, to me, to other people, that's what it sounds like to them, and I can just not imagine how they feel, I mean,
Right?
you know, so,
So it's bad enough that it's around us, right?
right.
So let's just try to keep it out of our own neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, they scare me, and I'm like, I don't even have PTSD, but I mean, they do sound like gunshots, and this day and age, I mean, gunshots, so it's like, you don't wanna hear them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, we're working on it, we're not ignoring it. Another part of the
Well, I
problem.
just wanted you all to be aware that when we do call the police, they're like, there's nothing you can do,
Yeah.
it's
I
out of your
don't-
hands.
I don't like that. I think that, I think they give, it's up to the officer's discretion whether to uphold the law or not. And I don't think that's fair. Not fair for us, not fair for anybody.
Right,
So
well-
I think that a lot of this has to do with the fact that they don't get paid a whole lot of money to do what they do, so why are they gonna come out for the small stuff? They just wait for the big stuff.
Yeah,
We had a similar problem about 2 years ago on New Year's Eve. Our neighbors across the street were setting off a really big, high in the sky boom booms, and we called the police. And the police basically went and told our neighbor, wait till midnight and set them all off at once.
Yeah.
We were like, what, why? It makes no sense, but, you know, that's what they were advising, I guess they advised more than one than just our neighbor, but we stood outside out back because we have this screen over our swimming pool. And that's what we
Wasn't
were
Paul?
afraid of catching on fire because they were like right over us.
yeah.
And we looked the next morning and the whole tops of our screen had the
Had
debris,
like the ash debris on it.
all the debris on it.
And that's the other thing, you're not gonna clean up your neighbor's yard if you have a fireworks display.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna clean up your own yard, because obviously it makes a mess.
Oh, yeah, we found debris like in the yard too. Yeah.
Well, we'll, every year, we'll get tougher and tougher on it, and eventually we won't have any fireworks.
Yeah, but at least the person driving next to us is obviously one of their last things that they didn't do it again.
I wonder if an increase in fine will actually.
We have a pretty steep
So
fine as it is.
We increased, so last year was, $100, and this year was $500.
I think that will.
We had 3 people that were, that we caught, and,
Yeah, we got caught and
yeah.
got chased.
Chase you guys up,
Yeah, they did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
So do at least you guys patrol on those days that there's a lot of fireworks,
Yes.
make sure that people
Yeah.
aren't putting them off, you're notating what people.
Yeah, we do.
That's what we were talking about, where we got chased. My wife and I went out on, when you called that night,
Yes, yeah.
we went out immediately and we did what was
We patrolled
needed to
the
do.
whole-
We patrolled the neighborhood and we took care of what we needed to get the evidence for it. And then we were followed by one of the homeowners and they literally chased us around the whole community.
And we were on the phone with the police saying someone was following us.
Yep.
Apparently she was on the phone with the police saying that she thought there was a predator in the neighborhood watching children. At midnight.
At midnight.
yes.
So then,
And so I knew that Bobby had cameras, and so I drove down so he could catch my car on the camera. And as I drove slowly past his home, she went around us, cut us off, and proceeded to get out of her car to come confront us. So we backed up and went the other way. Met the police officer we were on the phone with, and he's radioing to the officer that's with the homeowner. And he's like, tell her it's her HOA. And she comes back with like, they were chased, they were coming past my house really slow. I thought they were predators looking at my children. And And I explained to the officer, and I gave him the HOA card. Of course, Jimmy and I had our shirts
So
and
it's
our
on
name
with our tags.
And so the officer said, that they have a right to drive through, and watch.
Take pictures.
the meeting and take pictures. And, he said to the other officer, you know, just tell her she's chasing her HOA. And then he looked at us and he's like, well, no crime's been committed, so y'all can just go.
Well, that was exciting for the evening, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
It was
we
a little
started the new
scary
year
in
out
the
good.
beginning, but yes.
Started the new year out good.
Yes, yes, we did.
Story to tell.
So we do go out,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
if I'm working, then they go out, or if they can't, then somebody else will drive around. We're just trying to get it to stop, and that's how
Right.
we get pictures. One house, we did have a picture of the fireworks going off. We relied on, somebody else's, rain footage. And that, unfortunately, that fine was taken away, because anytime we send a fine to somebody, they have the option to appeal it, and they appeal it with the tribunal, they're not members of the board, they're just, community members, and they look at it with a different angle than we look at it, so. We didn't have the proof, so they took away the fine, which, at the end of the day, that's right, but I still don't think they're gonna have fireworks.
Yeah, it's
No.
hard, like, I was trying to take pictures through our window, but like, it's like you have to time it just right, and if you go out there to take pictures, then they're gonna go in, so.
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah, I get it, yeah, the best thing to do is what you guys did, you called us and
Okay.
we went out, and I guarantee they're not gonna do it again,
okay.
so.
Because some of the pictures, we got them actually lighting them.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. that's-
Can't deny that one.
No, but
All right, any other, questions or comments?
did you put noise for it?
I think the city has a noise ordinance, I don't know what it is though. If it's the standard noise ordinance, it's probably, 7 to 10 or something like that, or 7 to 9 or 8, something. Probably 7 in the morning to late at night.
If I remember correctly, I think we called one time because we had neighbors back in the back area that had real loud music.
I think it's
And I
any
believe
time.
on Friday and Saturday nights, it's till midnight.
Okay.
I thought it wasn't any time, it was.
No, I think they told me they have it
Radios
until
and stuff.
midnight, but if it's over excessive loud that you're in your house and you can hear it clearly, then you can call at any time.
If you're being bothered by noise, then let us know also.
Yeah, our neighbor has it on the other night, cause I was working from home, and you could hear like the vibration in the house, and I'm like, okay, that's a little annoying. But it was the first time they'd ever done it, so I don't know if it was just a one-time thing. but-
If it becomes a habit, which sometimes it does, just let us know, and we'll send them a polite letter.
Okay.
You know, everybody in this whole community has the right for peaceful living. You know,
Especially when people are working from home now.
especially when people are working, and a lot of people are, my wife is, you are, there's a ton of people. The guy diagonal from you, Mr. Ferula, he works from home, there's a lot of people on your street that work from home.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll check into the city's ordinance, cause their government documents do have a nuisance, is that what it is? Which can cover that also,
yeah,
but I'll check in with the city's process. To get clarification.
yeah, and anytime something's habitual, we have, means to reach out to the homeowner and ask them to stop doing that.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? All right, I'm seeking a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this meeting is adjourned at 7:12 PM.